cool overcast morning here at Casey Fields for the Swisse VFL Women's Round 8 game between the Cranbourne Eagles and the Darebin Falcons. Looking forward to this one. Darebin getting closer to full strength as the season goes on, and they will be keen to get another win today. They forced their way into the top 4 last week with a big win over the Eastern Devils, and it's a massive challenge for the young Eagles to try and compete with this powerhouse team that is chasing a 5th consecutive VFLW premiership this season. Plenty of changes to the team for Darebin. 5, in fact, to the selected lineup. Emma Oliver, Karen Paxman, Lauren Arnell, Laura Castleton and Lauren Pearce have all dropped out of the selected team, replaced by all 5 emergencies: Sam Smith, Shannon Egan, Annalise Lister, Isabel Porter and Alex Reynolds. Also out from last week, Elise O'Day, Asta O'Connor and Nicole Callanan, and also, Lister is back into the team. So plenty of big names out of the team, but coming in, Katie Brennan, the captain, is back in. Georgia Hammond, Sherelle Byrne and Carly McNeese come in. For Cranbourne, they've made one late change with Laura Robinson replaced by Taylor O'Hagan. Also from last week, AFLW players Romy Timmins is out. They're also missing Hardiman and Jacobson. We're underway. Brendan Rhodes with you and Anthony Stangitz.
Yeah, very good morning, and it's Brennan getting the Darebin Falcons out of the middle, going to the right of screen during this first quarter. On the outer side, Marsh picking up the ball, throw the call, and it will be Darebin getting the free kick.
And 50 straight away.
So they'll be straight down, right within scoring distance for Delpos. And we should mention as well they're 5th in a row, but only their 2nd VFL Women's Premiership. Last year, the first year of Swisse Wellness VFL Women's, so aiming for back-to-back titles, winning the inaugural title last year. And Delpos has put Darebin on the board 45 seconds into this clash, and they are 1 goal straight, 6 to Cranbourne yet to score.
Previous competition, of course, was Victorian Women's Football League, wasn't it? Premier Division?
It was, yes. Dominant team. And, of course, this year, one of the clubs that they had a heady history with was the Diamond Creek Football Club. Missed the finals last year, but sitting on top of the ladder at the moment and face a top-of-the-ladder clash later today up against Melbourne Uni. That game on Girls Play Footy Radio later today.
That'll be a ripper, that's for sure. The tap was won down by Meg McDonald. No clear possession out of the centre for the Falcons. Trying to drag it out with Smith. Couldn't do so, and the umpire calls for a restart. So at 11 a.m. start here at Cranbourne on VFL Radio, Swisse Wellness, VFLW action. Quick kick from Ebony Marinoff, who joined the Falcons a couple of weeks ago. They go inside forward 50. It's a beautiful kick, lace out. Mark was dropped, however, there by Hammond. Still a chance for the Falcons. Quick hand pass out. Caught with the footy was Grierson. Good to see her back in the team for Cranbourne. She took too long and has been pinged. So it'll be a free kick to Darebin on the forward 50. Kicked inside forward 50 there by Hickey. Good pass, and Vesio takes the mark 20 metres out directly in front and should kick the second goal for the Falcons.
Well, Jazz Grierson's the player with the job on Darcy Vesio today, so she was held up by that free kick and wasn't able to get back on her player.
7 goals last week against the Eastern Devils. Darcy Vesio knows exactly where they are, and they're not there. She sprayed it out to the right. A poor start for Vesio, and it's 1-1-7 the Falcons. The Eagles yet to score after nearly 3 minutes of the first quarter at Casey Fields in Swisse Wellness VFL Women's Round 8.
So Lister's got the job on Kirsten McLeod for Cranbourne as Brennan back into the team. Kicks it out of bounds on the full, and it'll be a free kick going the way of Cranbourne.
Plenty of, so they've only played twice last year, Cranbourne's first year in the top grade, the Eagles, and they had a tough time of it against Darebin last year, losing by 83 and 197 points. So they'll be hoping for a better result today. The boundary throw-in must have been touched off the boot as the Eagles still under pressure, and we'll have a ball up. So Cranbourne, of course, the old Division 1 premiers 2 years ago before being promoted into VFLW last year. Quick kick out of defence came from Timmermans. Bouncing ball beats everybody. Fumble there for the Falcons. Now it'll be kicked forward for Darebin. Snap around the corner from Simpson is off target and through for a behind. 1-2-8 Darebin. No score Cranbourne after 4 minutes of the first quarter.
So Jazz Grierson for Cranbourne and Katie Brennan for Darebin, back for their first game since round 4 of the Swisse Wellness VFL Women's season. Dangerous from the kick in, and the mark has been paid. Georgia Hammond will take the free kick, will take the mark. Thought about playing on.
Yet to kick a goal this year, Hammond.
Kicks it in short, looking for Delpos. She finds her, and she will line up. 45-degree angle. And let's see whether she can put her second of the morning on the board.
Signs are already dangerous for Cranbourne, aren't they?
Yeah, keeping it in their forward half and cross goal. So through for another behind, the third behind of the morning on the board for Darebin. They move on to 139. Cranbourne yet to score, ticking over to the 5-minute mark in this first term.
So Wilds to bring it back in for the Eagles. Good to see them at the highest level. They had 5 victories last year. They're sitting in 8th position on the ladder this year. Big fly from Vesio, couldn't drag the ball down. Little hand pass goes underground, only as far as Hickey, who got the handball back. Working their way through traffic, left behind by Lawson Tavern. Has to go back and get it. Cranbourne desperate on top of the football. Trying to work her way through is Ali Drennan. Now a quick hand pass out from Garner. Drennan goes after it again. Under pressure there from Shannon Egan, one of the late inclusions. Beaten for it. Hand pass over the top. Marinoff came across from Adelaide 3 weeks ago. Gets a kick away towards the pocket and it trickles over the line for a throw in. They just seem to keep producing the big names, the Falcons, don't they?
They do, and they've had a high rotation of their big names this year due to coming back from injury and other commitments. So, as we mentioned earlier in the broadcast, Paxman and Lauren Arnell out of today's lineup. As a throw, the call from the umpire. And it will be a shot going to Darebin. Directly in front. Chance to put their second major
Hammond, I think,
of the morning on the board. Hammond goes back, puts it straight through the middle, and the second on the board for Darebin in this round 8 Swisse Wellness and VFL Women's Clash. They are 2-3-15 leading Cranbourne, yet to score. Moving into the 7th minute of the first term here today, and of course across VFL Women's and the Peter Jackson VFL this weekend, celebrating Love the Game round. Love the game, not the odds.
Yep, and we certainly do love the game of footy, and we love the game of women's footy at Swisse Wellness VFL Women's Action. It was one down by Moody, Brienne, for the Eagles. Johnson was caught as soon as she grabbed the footy. And we'll have another ball up. Daisy Pearce playing only her second game of the season today for Darebin after returning last week. Out the back it goes. Ali Drennan was caught dispossessed. Dalpos fed the hand pass out. Left behind by McDonough for Cranbourne. Chance for the Falcons through Porter. Her handball couldn't break the pack. Flicked out eventually. Dalpos, Daisy Pearce. Can she get it through? Little tap out the back court was Leah Olsen. And it's not coming out of there this time. We'll have another ball up.
Missing a number of players in their team today. Cranbourne, Bianca Jacobson on the sidelines through injury. And also 3 of their players, Kennedy, Guttridge and Whitford, 3 of the new recruits to Cranbourne this year. All out of the TRC Cup Girls competition, all on their way to the Gold Coast for the AFLW Under-18 Championships, which start on Monday. So best of luck to those 3 women taking part in the championships.
We keep an eye on how that goes with interest. It'll produce the the next breed of AFLW players coming through, especially when the extra 2 teams arrive in 2 years' time. Quick kick forward from Hickey after receiving the handball. Front spot, the Falcons. Pearce gets a kick inside forward 50, misses the target, which was Sherelle Byrne. Little hand pass back out. Sizing up the options is Tyndall. Eventually has to kick to the lead, and that was beautifully done. Thought about the handball left, thought about it right, and in the end, Colvin got on a long lead and took the mark 35 out, almost straight in front. She'll come from the point of the centre square, in fact. Gabby Colvin's kicked 2 goals in her 5 games so far this season. And she has sprayed it out to the right as well and out of bounds on the full. So
well, you'd like to say that there's a major breeze here at Casey Fields. It's causing the inaccuracy from Darebin, but it's certainly not at the moment.
I think they're rushing their possessions a little bit, whether they're thinking about trying to put a bigger score on the board than they need to, rather than just worrying about the processes. Marinoff got it across to Daisy Pearce. She won't miss. Pearce kicks the goal, her first for the season. And the Falcons have number 3. 3 goals, 3-21. Cranbourne yet to score. Swisse Wellness, VFL Women's Round 8.
You just knew from the moment that Daisy got the ball in her hands that it was going to be a major. Got onto that left boot and kicked it straight through the middle, just showing her teammates how it's done. The other ones, admittedly, via set shots, but on the run, Daisy Pearce just making no mistake.
And already she knew exactly where to run to receive from Marinoff too, in just the second game together. As the ball came, well, it was ripped away from the possession of Brennan. Now a chance for the Eagles. Pearce, however, steals it, got caught by Garner. And we'll have another ball up. Got a bit of a ride there, did Egan. Now it comes away. Quick kick forward from Lister. Up and under. Vesio couldn't take the mark. She'll receive the handball. Tumbles a kick towards goal. Cranbourne got back and trying to work it over the line, and eventually succeeding was Rebecca Pearce for a rush behind to Darebin. They go to 3 goals, 4. Playing Cranbourne, no score. Grayson to bring it back. The ball exclusively in Darebin's forward 50 in this first quarter. It wasn't a good kick in. Put some pressure on Brianne Moody at ground leveled. Pearce fed a hand pass out. Was left behind by Marinoff. She goes again. Daisy Pearce crashes through. Got the hand pass off to Marinoff. Kick towards the goal square. Brennan made the spoil. Fell to Wilds at the front. Threw it on the boot. Get out of here, she said. It won't go out of bounds. It went outside the 50, and caught with the footy was Tatham. And the umpire says, give it to me. I'll ball it up 55 metres out from the Falcons' goal.
So ball up on the outer side. Cranbourne wanting to edge into their forward half. There's no one there at the moment for them. As Darebin go back inside forward 50 once again. Vesio wheels around. Kick was smothered. Now a great opportunity again. Delpos, the short chip kick. Good defensive effort by Moody. And Cranbourne trying to get out of trouble. Simpson round the corner. The ball was touched and through for another behind. So 3-4-22. Darebin, Cranbourne yet to score. We've gone 12.5 minutes in this first term.
I reckon the scoreboard is now 2 points behind. They should be 3 goals, 5, the Falcons. Short ball back into play. We'll find Wilds from Grierson. They need to just hold on to possession and work it slowly and deliberately to get it out of here, because any sort of rush kick, any sort of kick to a contest, Darebin is picking it off. And that's what's happened again here as Birch put a handball underground. Cranbourne had the numbers on the outside with Ali Drennan, but she's put it out of bounds on the full on the left. So it'll come straight back in. Vesio comes to the bench for a spell. Brought into play by Birch. And Daisy Pearce had to make the spoil and see it over the line for a throw-in.
Great work by Cutting to see it over the line for Cranbourne as well in that front spot, making sure that no one got the mark inside forward 50 for the Falcons.
One down by Timmermans. Brennan desperately trying to get rid of the football, but didn't do it successfully. Pinged holding the footy. So the Eagles to bring it out of defence. Short ball will find Brianne Moody. Still inside defensive 50. Moody brings it long towards the wing. Flying in from the side was Patterson. Couldn't take the mark. At the back, McDonald. She lost possession of the footy. O'Hagan for Cranbourne. Wasn't getting away from the tackle there of Reynolds.
So ball up on this broadcast side wing. Timmermans got the tap down. Cranbourne just needing to get their hands on the football. Good defensive pressure from the Falcons once again. They're trying to extract it again through Hammond. Ball at ground level. Now, very good opportunity. Hickey goes out wide. Birch. Oh, great smother off the boot. Great defensive effort by Tatham. Handball over the top. Looking for Marsh. Now it's back in the hands of Hickey. Dispossessed. Looking for Marinoff. She gets the handball out the back to Reynolds. Thought about the handball, got the kick away. Proved the better option in the end. Cranbourne with the numbers on this occasion. Wilds now into open space. They go up towards their forward 50 for the first time in this clash. Good defensive effort by Darebin. Rowe. As again, Johnson pushes it inside the forward 50 arc for the Eagles. But away come the Falcons through Rowe. They go out wide. Now they've got the numbers. Smith gets it on to Marinoff. Marinoff in towards Brennan in the middle. Falcons building. They go out wide. Wide kick to half forward for Porter. He's got plenty of time now. Looks inside forward 50. Trapped by Pearce. Working well with her teammate. And that was Grierson. Handball over the top. Cutting. Good defensive effort by Cranbourne, but it comes back out and taken by Hickey, cutting it off, and Hickey will mount the attack again. Goes to Brennan. Brennan plays on quickly. Inside forward 50. Looking for a target at full forward. Invesio. He's got 2-on-1 contest. Unable to get the ball to her boot. And now, what can the Falcons do to hold it inside their forward 50 arc? Well, they might not be able to. Cranbourne working it hard. Marsh again. Now Marinoff reels around on the left boot, goes long and puts it through. So the fourth goal on the board for Darebin. And they move on to 4-5-29 to Cranbourne, yet to score. 16 and a half minutes gone in this first quarter. And after all that good work by Cranbourne, getting up to their forward 50, just, rocketed back the other way by the Falcons.
Rising star class, wasn't it, from Ebony Marinoff? Just picked the footy up 45 metres out, one step on the left boot, straight through on the fly. But I really liked the way Darebin was set up then. It was Cranbourne's first inside 50. They had Rowe one-on-one at the 50. They had Patterson 20 metres behind the ball as a backstop. It wasn't going through really easy. Cranbourne's going to have to work hard to break that zone down. Going forward again, the Falcons. Kick, however, goes straight into the man on the player on the mark, I should say. Going in again was McDonald, and she gets caught. So not a good minute that for Meg McDonald. And the free kick to Cranbourne. Short pass down to the wing to a 3-on-1 in favour of the Falcons. Hand pass over the top will be thumped away from Johnson. Now they can work their way forward. This is Tyndall. Picks it up eventually. Has time to size up her options and kick beautifully into the pocket. Chest mark dropped by Simpson. Still a chance for Simpson. Tries to tap it out. Tyndall arrives again to provide some support. Hand pass back inboard. Underground goes the handball from Rowe. And eventually over the line for a throw-in. So inside 50 again for Darebin. He'd be up to around about 15, I think, in this first quarter to 1 for Cranbourne. 1 down by the Falcons, I should say, and Hickey can't keep it in. 4-5-29, the score on my sheet. Not what you can see on the big scoreboard here at the ground.
Well, it is on our screen on the video,
on the video
streaming.
Got it right. We're on the ball.
Good work to Morgan in the background, pushing the buttons.
Out of the back line goes Cranbourne, but it's going to come straight back in. That Darebin wall is strong. Lister tumbles a kick inside to Dalpos. Fed it out to the advantage of Egan. Kicks towards the goal square. Vesio couldn't take the mark. Wilds hurried kick away. Dalpos in the road. Takes the mark. Sees a player loose at the top of the goal square and finds Stephanie Simpson. Probably a little bit further out than that, in fact, 25 to 30. She might even kick from closer to 35. But she will be close enough to directly in front that it won't matter. 2 behinds for her in this first quarter. Steph Simpson pokes it towards goal, has got the carry, and Simpson adds her name to the score sheet. Darebin go to 5-5-35. Cranbourne yet to score. 10 seconds remaining in this first quarter. Swisse Wellness VFL Women's Round 8.
Well, all single goal scorers so far for Darebin, and following on from their previous 2 rounds in the opening 5 rounds of the season. 6 goals was the most they amounted, and they've followed it up with round 6, 11 goals, round 7, 13 goals, and already at quarter time they have 5 goals on the board. So via our scoreboard, we have it as 5-5-35 to Cranbourne, yet to score at quarter time in Swisse Wellness VFL Women's Round 8 action. The goal kickers so far today, Daisy Pearce, Jess Delpos, Steph Simpson, Ebony Marinoff and Georgia Hammond, all kicking 1 goal apiece. We'll let the goal umpires clarify the score at the quarter time break, and we'll be back with a big second quarter of action right here on VFL.com.au.
So a dominant first quarter for the Darebin Falcons on Swisse Wellness VFL Women's Round 8 through vfl.com.au. Can they back it up in the second quarter, or will Cranbourne fight back? Pearce with a second possession in the first few seconds. Couldn't break the zone. Working her way through as Hickey fed it out towards Pearce again. Coming off half back there and going for a run is Birch. Has a bounce. Kicks towards half forward, looking for Brennan. Good stretch, takes the mark, hits the ground running. Has a bounce. Katie Brennan runs inside 50. Wobbles a kick towards full forward. Unable to pick it up was Marie Drennan. Snap around the corner. Vesio on the line. Simpson, first goal. Only took 40 seconds. And the Falcons have 6 at the start of the second quarter. Steph Simpson has her second. And it's 6-5-41 Darebin. Cranbourne yet to score.
Yeah, an amazing start to them. I think the clock we've got, we're still working from the 20 minutes of the first quarter, so we'll keep an eye on that.
Just take 20 off and we'll be fine.
We will be, but again, a goal in that first minute of in the clash. So great work out of the middle and a great opportunity for the Falcons today with Lauren Pearce out of the team. So Shannon Egan getting an opportunity to come into this lineup today. As Birch gets a kick wide, cut off by Pearce of the Cranbourne variety. Kick up to half forward. McDonald, great defensive effort. Does a great job on Darebin's Facebook and social media accounts, doing the post-match interviews. So she'll be busy defending today for the Falcons, then going behind the camera, or going in front of the camera post-game. Held up at half back, and the umpire comes in and balls it up on the Falcons' half-forward line. A lead by 41 points.
Egan won the taps, went long with it. It was a beautiful hit out. Del Pos ran onto it, kicked towards goal, and Cranbourne this time with the numbers back, and Jasmine Grierson, the Melbourne star, manages to rush it through for a behind for Cranbourne. And a 50-metre penalty will help bring Cranbourne out of defence. Over the mark there was Georgia Hammond on the top of the goal square. So Grierson will come out to the 50 and will be able to find some distance for Cranbourne. She goes short and finds, that is Wallace. In fact, Wilds, who goes short again. And the Eagles can build. It was Ali Drennan. Wide out towards the wing. Front spot. No mark able to be taken there by Garner. Pressure now back on Cranbourne. But the gang tackle can't bring Birch to ground. And we'll have a ball up. So Egan won the first tap, but tapped it straight onto Clarkson's hand, who then got the second hit out. And it rolled away towards the line and over for a boundary throw-in. 42 points the margin in favour of Darebin. 3.5 minutes into the second quarter. Ball back into play. Clarkson and Egan. Egan in the front spot. Won it down. Tracked back by Brennan. Couldn't pick it up. It didn't want to sit for her. Eventually tapped to her advantage and ran away beautifully. Kick around the wing is just a little bit too wide and goes out of bounds on the full. So Wilds, who has a lot to do today and has had plenty of it so far, gets the free kick. Drives it long down the wing. Over the head it goes of Pearce. Unable to pick it up was Clarkson. Finally booted forward by Drennan. Inside 50 it goes for the second time today for Cranbourne. And it was tracked back by Phillips, who couldn't keep it in. And we'll have a boundary throw in. But the first genuine scoring opportunity for Cranbourne today.
Certainly is. Here's their opportunity to get on the scoreboard. 4 minutes into the second quarter. Pearce shows her class. They've got the runners now, McDonald in the back pocket. Got the option over the top in Simpson, a long way from the forward line, where she's kicked her 2 goals so far today. Held up inside forward 50 for Cranbourne, and we'll see a ball up.
Did well there, the Eagles. They could have very easily broken clear. Darebin, they had the numbers, but the cavalry arrived and managed to lock it up, and they've still got a chance to put something on the board, Cranbourne.
So tap down, Pearce extracts it, gets a handball across to Simpson. Will it stay in? No, it doesn't. Simpson makes her way the other side of the boundary and heads to the interchange bench as the ball will be brought back into play. 60 metres out from Cranbourne's goal. Yet to trouble the scorers today, and we've found a free kick. Well, who's it going to come back to? Come back to Darebin. And to take it, Egan. Short chip kick, finds Hickey. Plays on quickly. In towards the middle. Not the best kick to Delpos, but she was able to trap it. Now gets it out wide, looking for a teammate in row. Plays on quickly, down the line. She's got Porter. Porter's just got to get her hands on it. Does so now, had the time. Taken in the tackle without it, and she'll receive the free kick. And have a chance to put Darebin back inside forward 50 once again. She's centering kick, though, to Hickey.
Mel Hickey, 2 kicks from home. Given the hurry up now. Cranbourne with the numbers back, but she's found a target short. That was Delpos. Gave it back to Hickey. Chips inside 50. Wasn't a good one. The bounce didn't favour cutting. Put Cranbourne under pressure again. Little ball out the back. Pearce gets away from one tackle. Almost missed the boot with the kick. Delpos lays the tackle on Rapari. Still a chance for Cranbourne to break clear, and Cutting does just that. Boots into the centre of the ground. Numbers with Darebin back here. The bounce didn't favour McDonald. Picked up by McNeese. Got it off to Birch. Has to go backwards to try and find some clear air, and does so with Patterson. Out wide to Hickey. Has plenty of time to size up her options. Kicks towards half forward. Arriving to thump it away was Ali Drennan. Did a good job there. Fell to Hickey again. Now to Hammond. Kick around the corner wasn't good, and Bree Moody's in the road and takes the mark for the Eagles just outside defensive 50. Breanne Moody played for Carlton. Kicks over the top into the centre of the ground. The bounce doesn't favour Patterson. As soon as she grabbed it in the end was tackled. At the back now is Rowe. Got a hand pass backwards, taken by Lawson Tavern, back to Birch. Towards half-back flank she goes with the kick. Wilds has to get around a couple, does so. Little kick on the outside of the boot. Couldn't find the target. Lawson Tavern dispossessed. Has to go in again. And we'll have a ball up 50 metres out from the Cranbourne goal. They've lifted the Eagles after that first goal early in this second quarter to Darebin. They're pretty well breaking even over the last 6 or 7 minutes. Patterson couldn't keep it in. And we'll do it all over again. So just the one behind for Darebin in the last 7 minutes of play. Cranbourne spending a bit of time in their forward zone. Good desperation there for the Eagles coming from Amanda McDonough, and she ties it up for another ball up.
So still looking for that first scoring opportunity. The Eagles go back goal, but the cut-off mark taken by Patterson. She'll do the switch. Our players running out towards half-back, looking for McDonald. Finds her now. Over the mark, so 50-metre penalty, down ground.
Very quick call, that one, wasn't it? It seemed like it was almost instantaneous that the Falcons played on, that the umpire was right onto them.
They were. McDonald in towards the middle. Marinoff now. Gets onto the trusty left. Good defensive work by Cranbourne on this occasion. They've got the numbers. Now they just need to use it. Running along the broadcast side wing, Rapari up towards half forward. It was a 3-on-2 contest. Falcons with the numbers. Marinoff again gets a kick, and Grierson cuts it off. She'll settle down the play for the Eagles. Looking at her options. Goes across the ground. Finds the fill-in captain today, Stephanie Binder. Good work by Pearce. Gets it up towards half forward, but 3-on-1 contest. Numbers are with the Falcons once again. Patterson leads in the race for the football. Good work by Cranbourne in the end, holding the ball up. And we'll have a ball up on the outer side. 42 points the margin, 10 minutes gone, second term. Live here on VFL.com.au.
So Clarkson won it down for Cranbourne, but it'll be taken away by the Falcons. The kick, however, wasn't good. Mark was dropped by McDonough. And we'll have a ball up. 60 metres out from goal. Birch puts a hand up to go in the ruck. Or McDonald, it was in fact Marinoff who lost the tap. That has to go again. Katie Brennan picks it up, feeds the hand pass out. It was knocked away by Wallace. Only as far as Birch, who tapped it over the top. Brennan runs onto the football. She's got a fair bit of class there. Turns back inboard. She's very, very good at finding options, and she found Hickey this time, who wasn't quite so good at finding the option. And she hit Courtney Clarkson for the Eagles. Clarkson sets it up towards centre half forward. This will be an easy mark to Darebin. And it's taken by Patterson. Goes to the outer side. Olsen led the race back for the ball and did well. Got it up to Marie Drennan towards half forward. 2-on-1 contest again favouring Darebin. Lawson Tavern couldn't pick the football up. Now the Eagles. Inside 50 it goes. A chance here for Cranbourne. Hand pass out to McLeod. Snap back on goal. How will this swing back? The Shepherd's there. Oh, it bounces on its hand and goes the wrong way for Cranbourne. Picked up by Patterson, who kicks towards open space and gets pinged for deliberate. She went straight for the boundary line and got called. Well, when you're struggling to find a way to score, you don't need luck like that, do you? Free kick, however, so another opportunity for Cranbourne. Deep in the forward pocket. Centering ball, looking for Wilds, who's come down from full back. Couldn't pick it up cleanly. McDonald to Hickey. Over the top she goes. Moody. Couldn't quite. Working through traffic is Marinoff. How'd she get through there? That was classy as well. Finds McNeese, who gets around her direct opponent. Kicks out towards halfback. That was a good kick. Found Byrne. And they're out of trouble again, Darebin. Short to Brennan, who ran hard to provide the option. Right in front of the Darebin interchange gates. Called to play on Brennan, so she just steps around the player on the mark and then stepped around the second one as well. Almost ran out of bounds, but the pressure from Cranbourne was good and it created the turnover, the mark taken by Cutting.
Just lifted their intensity, Cranbourne, drying up the scoring for the Falcons. And also looking at trying to get their first score on the board. Would have liked to seen Timmermans just go for goal herself, but she did the team thing just before to get it off to McLeod. Bounce just not favourable to the Eagles on their home deck today. But again, Tyndall from half back, trying to set it up for the Falcons. Could have run too far. I think she has. But just waiting for the whistle from the umpire. She was in two minds about who she was going to give it off to.
Got to have a bounce in the end. An injury problem here for Cranbourne. Coming to the bench is Kirsten McLeod. Limping pretty badly there.
Ball on this broadcast side wing. Marinoff over the football, and we'll have another ball up. That's one of the players that they don't want off the field at the moment. She's one that could easily spark them in the late stages of this quarter or the second half. And it's been the issue for Cranbourne this year, just their goal-scoring ability. Their leading scorer today in Brown, not in the team. And McLeod, their second leading goal scorer for the season, is Simpson. Tries to centre the ball. Handball comes out to Pearce. He tries to sidestep her opponent. Got it off to a teammate in Colvin. Cranbourne now holding up defensively at half-back. Trying to trap and got it off to Johnson. Hasn't got much to kick to. She's going to make it tough for Phillips. She's in the one-on-one contest on that outer side with Birch. Oh, but great work by the Falcons. McDonald now with a football. She's slung to the ground as she kicked it. Now Hammond picks up the ball, bombs it long inside forward 50 for the Falcons. They're doing well down in defence. Now Cranbourne, now they've got the numbers. They've just got to work. And work they will. It's Rapari off half back. Brings the ball down. Up towards half forward again. It was a 3-on-1 contest. Actually, if you look at the numbers, it was about 6-1 down in that foray forward as Delpos goes up towards half forward once again. Good tap down. Drennan, the Marie variety. Still Simpson now. Handball back towards half forward. Delpos. Falcons mounting another attack. They go inside forward 50 and in the front spot.
How
Katie
good
Brennan.
are her hands? She just marks everything, Katie Brennan.
Doesn't look like she's had a month off football, does it?
No, not at all.
Last game in round 4, returning in round 8. She's going to go in short. And not the best kick on that occasion. And Rebecca Pearce marks in defence for Cranbourne.
The disposal has been a little bit off for Darebin today. Hasn't really worried them on the scoreboard as yet, but they haven't scored now for about 14 minutes and haven't kicked a goal for 16. So coaching staff wouldn't be overly happy about that. The Cranbourne is working very hard in this second quarter. While they're not getting rewards on the scoreboard, they are certainly stopping Darebin from scoring. On top of the football was Tyndall. May have been caught high. Umpire says no, and then says give it to me as Steph Binder is the last one up.
And you just look back outside the camera view and just the wall that Darebin are setting up across the middle of this ground. It's going to make it difficult for Cranbourne when they go forward like this.
This up and under kick gave the wall a chance to feed back, but this will work for Cranbourne. A shot on goal from Marsh. Well, it was smothered off the boot. She took a second too long to kick it. Taken away by Lister. To the outer side it goes. Running onto it is Dalpos. Draws her opponent. Got a little hand pass away. Missed the target. Ali Drennan runs onto the footy. Then has to lay a tackle. That's a trip. Almost a professional foul, wasn't it? The ankle tap to stop Dalpos from running away. She received and then went with a little up and under. That could have been a free kick. Doesn't matter. Darebin kicked forward. But Brianne Moody is a kick behind the play and takes another mark on defensive 50. So Moody goes with the switch. It's another 2-on-1 front spot, almost the mark to Patterson, but she was dealt with. Chopping of the arms is a free kick. Patterson kicks inside 50. Vesio couldn't get a run at it. And Rebecca Pearce takes an easy mark for the Eagles. Brings it out to broadcast side. Brought to ground by Tyndall. Goes back after the footy herself. Did she dive on it? The umpire gives her the benefit of the doubt. And a ball up will result right in front of the broadcast position. 18 minutes gone in the second quarter. Swisse Wellness VFL Women's Round 8. Anthony Stangitz and Brendan Rhodes with you.
Yeah, an amazing quarter. Darebin kicking the only goal of the term just 60 seconds into the quarter. And we haven't seen another major throughout the rest of the term. And just one behind scored. Cranbourne have had their scoring opportunities. And they'd love to get a score on the board prior to half-time. In the last 2 minutes of the quarter, I'm not too sure how they'll do it now as once again the Falcons try to mount another attack. Birch goes inside forward 50. Too slick for Brennan on that occasion. Out of defensive 50 comes Cranbourne. But again, this wall that the Falcons set up, McDonald gets it onto Birch. Setting it up on the outer side. Goes up towards Porter. And ball, she's able to keep the ball in play. Making sure Olsen created the contest, but too high. And Porter will take the free kick. Inside the last 60 seconds of the term. One last opportunity for the Falcons.
She'd want to move it a little bit quicker than that.
She would. Brennan couldn't take it with the one hand. Cranbourne, one last roll of the dice. They've got about 30 seconds on the clock. Reynolds cuts it off, as the Falcons have done for the majority of this term. A kick up towards inside forward 50. Vesio couldn't take the mark. Grierson, strong in defence. Stood there, took the impact. She just needs to not concede a turnover in these late seconds of the first half. Clarkson takes the mark. And we'll count down the clock towards half-time, and there it is. So only the 1 goal scored for the quarter, but you'd almost give the points to Cranbourne in that second term for their defensive effort. Up against Darebin, 6-6-42. Cranbourne yet to score in this clash. They had their opportunities inside the forward 50 arc, but just couldn't get that first score on the board. The bounce didn't favour them on one occasion, and I think just the confidence to back themselves inside that forward 50
and
arc
take a shot,
and have a shot.
Timmermans from the boundary line, as you mentioned. Marsh was running in as well and couldn't get the kick away in time when she had the open goal beckoning. A little bit of unselfishness, as you said there, from Timmermans. She would have been well within her rights to have a shot when you haven't scored halfway through the second quarter, but the game plan is obviously to set it up to a dangerous position, so she stuck to that. And I don't think the coach could have anything against her for doing that. But you can't take anything away at all from Cranbourne in that quarter. They were fantastic. After conceding a goal within 40 seconds, they really played well. And Breanne Moody, Jasmine Griss and Hayley Wilds and Ali and Marie Drennan across that half-back line were outstanding. They probably took, I reckon, a dozen intercept marks between them for the quarter. Vesio just couldn't get a run at the football. Every one of those Cranbourne players is taller than her, and she couldn't get a run and jump to take one of her signature marks to get a shot on goal. And it would have been quite a frustrating quarter for Darcy Vesio in particular. But well done to Cranbourne, even though they don't have the reward for themselves on the scoreboard. It's good reward that they were able to hold Darebin to 1 behind in 19 minutes of footy.
Yeah, certainly is. Goal kickers up until half-time. Our only multiple goal scorer, Steph Simpson with 2, 1 in each of the quarters so far. Daisy Pearce with 1, Jess Delpos with 1, Marinoff and Georgia Hammond the other goal scorers. So at half-time, round 8 action in Swisse Wellness VFL Women's. It's Darebin 6-6-42, leading Cranbourne no score. We'll take a break. After the break, we'll be back with the second half of action live here from Casey Fields on vfl.com.au.
Welcome back to Casey Fields for the second half of this Swisse Wellness VFL Women's Round 8 clash between the Cranbourne Eagles and the reigning Premier Darebin Falcons. So far, the Falcons doing all the scoring, 6 goals, 642 to Cranbourne, no score. But the Eagles fighting back well in that second quarter, holding the Falcons to just one behind after the 1 minute mark of that second term. Can they keep it going and get a score on the board themselves? We'll find out now as Egan won the first tap down for Darebin, and straight out of the centre they go through Hickey inside 50. But once again, back with the flight of the ball and taking a courageous mark for Cranbourne was Grierson. Chips it short. Good kick, finds Ali Drennan. And the Eagles doing what they did in the second quarter, just holding Darebin's charge up. Del Pos makes the spoil. Picked up there by Birch. Couldn't break clear. She got caught in a very good tackle. And the free kick goes to Marley Tatham. And Cranbourne can work their way out of defence again. Brendan Rhodes with you and Anthony Stangitz.
Now afternoon for our video stream watchers. Game starting at 11 o'clock this morning. And Darebin, for those that have just tuned in, 5-0 first term. The ball comes inside forward 50. Colvin sees the ball over the line. Yeah, 5 goals, 5 in the first term. Darebin. And Cranbourne couldn't get on the scoreboard. In the second term, in the first 40 seconds, Darebin had their 6th goal, but it was the last goal we've seen in this contest. Cranbourne improving their defensive unit over the last quarter. And can they do the same in the third term and get their first score of this game on the board?
Taken away by Clarkson. Back towards half-back it goes for the Eagles. Dispossessed was Patterson. Now forward it goes Pearce. Fed the hand pass off to Hickey. Kicks inside 50. Vesio couldn't quite, but recovered best. Got back onto the left boot. Snapped towards goal. Finally managed to break that close attention she's received from Grierson, but she's off target. And just her second behind of the game. 6-7-43 the Falcons, yet to score Cranbourne 2 minutes into this third quarter.
Good work by Ebony Marinoff, just getting in the pathway of Grierson as she went to chase Darcy Vesio as well. So gave the good block as Marsh marks in defensive 50 for Cranbourne. Johnson tried to mark, couldn't. Good to see McLeod back out on the field for Cranbourne. Great defensive pressure. Slung Marinoff around as Pearce gets her kick. Great work by Clarkson, but sharked once again. Tyndall inside forward 50. The defence of Cranbourne working hard. You just wonder if the walls are going to break at any stage, but Wilds doing a great job.
She has been outstanding, Hayley Wilds.
She was in our last video stream game out here up against Seaford. And a great work by her, but as the ball on the outer side, Patterson. They go inboard, looking for Egan. Gets the ball on quickly. Pearce onto Delpos. The Old Firm working strongly. They kick it up inside that forward 50 arc. And Porter marks inside forward 50. And we'll go back and line up from around 35 metres out directly in front.
And no goals for her so far this season, and she won't get one here.
As she finds the target, though, and finds Georgia Hammond. He's kicked her first goal of the season. And we'll line up for her second.
Good lead and good lead from Hammond. Good pass from Porter. Straight to advantage. Gave the defence no chance.
So lines it up. Right boot kick. Goal umpire doesn't have to move too much to her right-hand side, and through for the 7th of the afternoon now. And on the Swisse Wellness VFL Women's scoreboard, it is 7-7-49 Darebin to Cranbourne, yet to score, as in the early stages of this third term out here at Casey Fields today, live on vfl.com.au.
Interesting, even though Darebin has had a wide turnover of players, they've used the most in the league of 36. They've still had 14 that have played every game or all but one game. Eight every game, 6 have only missed one, so plenty of continuity still in their team. Cranbourne have had 6 play every game and 7 miss one, so 13 regulars for them this season. As we see Marinoff break out of the centre, kicks inside forward 50. Bouncing ball taken by Simpson, got it back inside to Pearce, and Pearce takes the mark, looking for a give, and finally sees one, but it wasn't a good kick off one step. It went over the head of Porter, put the pressure on. Shepherd laid by McLeod, and coming out of defence was Grierson. She's run too far. Well, I thought she handballed it to herself over the top there.
I thought she'd done the 1-2 with herself.
1-2 with herself. Obviously, that's been judged to have been not allowed. The free kick goes to Byrne, who went to the top of the square, and it's Wilds who'll run away with it again. Kicks out towards half-back. A beautiful long kick finds Garner. On the back flank for Cranbourne, Nicole Garner chips in board for Clarkson. She'll hold it up. Continues with the switch, looking for O'Hagan. Over her head. Now is a chance for Darebin to get the turnover, but the desperation from, well, holding the ball. There was desperation, I thought, from Rapari, but she was deemed to have camped on top of it. A little bit stiff, I thought. Lister with the free kick. Goes inside 50. Vesio went to ground. At the back, coming off the line there for Cranbourne. The look-away handball missed the target. Little hand pass up from the ground from Simpson. Out to Drennan for Cranbourne. Kick into the centre. We'll get to McDonald playing the half-back role in the centre circle. Fed it out to Byrne. Inboard, she went. Lister couldn't step around the traffic. Now Rapari. Look at them tracking her. There's 3 Darebin players after her. Drennan. Kick off the ground was smothered, went nowhere. Patterson looked like she was held high. Umpire letting them go, and eventually calls for a ball up. 7-7-49 Falcons, no score Cranbourne, 7 minutes into the third quarter.
Ball up on this broadcast side wing. Unable to get it down was Clarkson. Brennan now. Tracking the ball around the middle. Kicks up towards half forward. Good defensive effort by McLeod. Tries to kick her team forward. Looking for Marsh. Unable to find her under plenty of pressure. Reynolds with the handball out. Good intercept by Drennan. But now falls into the hands of Lister in the middle. On to Marinoff. Up towards half forward and Pearce. She'll size up her options. Look what she can do with it. Not the best kick on that occasion. As Cranbourne. Moody was just unable to pick it up. They go back out to Pearce. They reset. Now she's got a second opportunity. Now she finds her target and sets up Darcy Vesio to see whether she can put through her first of the afternoon.
Still a little bit of rust there for Daisy Pearce, isn't it? On the little short passes, she's struggling to find her range and her accuracy, but when she's got to hit a target like that, lace out, you can see why she's known as the best player in the game.
And certainly showed her class that she wanted to make up for the miss just seconds earlier. As Vesio makes the line. Kicks her 17th of the season. Closes to within 3 of leading goal kicker Chloe Malloy in our Choose Tap leading goal kicker of the year. And Darebin have their 8th on the board. They move on to 8-7-55. Cranbourne yet to score. Only 9 minutes gone in this third term. Talking about the leading goal scorer in the competition. Big game going on today. Diamond Creek taking on Melbourne Uni. 1 versus 2 on the Swisse Wellness VFL Women's ladder. Also in other games today, Seaford taking on Geelong. But Chloe Malloy leading the goal kicking at the end of round 7 with 20 goals for the season. The best and fairest and leading goal kicker in the TAC Cup Girls competition.
She was impressive a couple of weeks ago when I saw her play against the Western Spurs, Chloe Malloy too. As a beautiful tackle laid by Brennan on Johnson. Created the turnover. The hand pass wasn't quite so good from Rowe. Up to the task, Birch flicked it back across to Rowe, who then got run down from behind. Cranbourne's attack on the ball and the player has been fantastic. They haven't quite got the class to go with Darebin, but the endeavour cannot be faulted. Free kick by Phillips, not a good one. Turnover time, handball back from Reynolds. They've still got a chance here, Cranbourne. On top of the footy is Reynolds having another crack at it. The umpire is circling and eventually calls for it. They always look like they want to pay holding the ball, don't they? The way they circle around the back of the pack.
I almost thought for consistency, the way that they've been,
could have been
calling
paid,
them
definitely.
today, yeah.
One down by Egan. Missed by Brennan. Trying to work through McDonough. Came eventually to Delpos, who received it half-back. Gave it to McNeese, up to the wing. Vessio's a long way from home. Running onto this football was Porter. And then Vessio, but her rushed kick under pressure from Grierson, who's done a good job on her, only goes as far as Kirsten McLeod, who's got half a roll of tape on her leg after that sore knee in the second quarter. Pearce made the intercept, but the free kick has been paid to Alicia Johnson, and she'll take it right on the wing for the Eagles.
So Slices up her options in short. She's got McDonough.
Wrong option.
Yeah, it was. As Katie Brennan takes the intercept mark. Team's up by 55 points halfway through this third term.
Yeah,
and
the hurry-up whistle was interpreted as a play-on whistle.
So she went over the mark, and now the 50-metre penalty. And Brennan.
The old... the instruction to say move it on rather than hurry up is what confuses a lot of players at every level.
It is.
And that's nothing... don't think I'm blaming the umpires for that. That's coming from above them.
So Brennan, maybe first game back from a month off. We'll see whether the distance tests her. Just inside the 50 arc.
Good hit.
She has hit it well, just inaccurate. 3 for 1 behind. So 12 minutes gone, third term. Darebin, 8-8-56. Cranbourne yet to score.
Wilds
brings it back into play.
Close to Cranbourne's best player today, and that's a good kick to the outer side. Almost the mark to Drennan. Not quite getting in to provide support was Wallace. Eventually it came out, and Drennan managed to wrap it up and stop Marinoff breaking clear. Then fed the hand pass up. A little kick through traffic. Couldn't quite make it through from Tatham. Finally, it came back to Marley Tatham, and she put a floater up towards the wing this time. Good effort there by O'Hagan. Hand pass inboard. Pressure on Ali Drennan. Now the Eagles go towards half forward. Under pressure, cutting with 3 to beat. Dalpos was caught. Lawson Tavern left it for Birch off the line. Gave it to Marinoff. Kick towards half forward, but camped behind the ball. Cranbourne is building the same wall that Darebin has worked well with today. Clarkson took the mark and went further out to the wing. Eagles to build. Brennan, well, dropped a mark that you would normally expect her to take. Little handball, can't break clear. Wallace and Darebin with all the numbers around the ball. Marinoff has to go backwards to find her target, and does with Dalpos. So Jess Dalpos goes short and finds Lister. Deliberately trying to work it forward, Lister. Not a good kick. Hammond did beautifully there. Georgia Hammond kicks inside 50. A chance for the Falcons. And the mark is taken at the top of the goal square by Gabby Colvin, and she'll go back and kick the goal. It was terrific play by Hammond, a one-on-one contest. Just managed to stick the hand out, drag the footy in, and away she went. And Gabby Colvin has a shot, well, 15 metres out directly in front. Put one out on the full in the first quarter from a little bit further out than this. This one, no problem at all. So Colvin adds her name to the goal-kicking list, and Cranbourne goes along to, Darebin goes along to 9 goals, 8, 62. Cranbourne yet to score. 14.5 minutes gone in the third quarter. Swisse Wellness VFL Women's Round 8 on VFL.com.au with Brendan Rhodes and Anthony Stangetz.
Yeah, just not able to make most of their opportunities, Cranbourne, and Darebin just able to find multiple goal scorers after Darcy Vesio kicked 7 last week. She's only had the 1 up until this third term, and she kicked it in the third term as well. But just the multitude of options to goal. You look at one of their other leading goal scorers this year in Brennan, just from her 3 games, and she hasn't kicked one today, playing further up the field. But just their ability to find goal kickers when they need them, and certainly improve that firepower from the early stages of the season, as I mentioned earlier. 6 goals was the most that they kicked in the first 5 games, but they've backed that up with 11 goals in round 6 and 13 goals in round 7. And 2 big 10-goal wins over the last couple of rounds, which percentage is the thing that they've been lacking up against the top teams as they go back inside forward 50. That was through Lister. And a free kick's been found. And we talked about Brennan. And Brennan will get an opportunity to try and kick her first of the afternoon. We mentioned the percentages, and Diamond Creek and Melbourne Uni both going head-to-head. They're on 6 wins and 1 defeat, and both sitting in the 220s for their percentage. VU Western Spurs also in the 220s. But then you go back to Darebin on 162, so the big 10-goal margins.
110 in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, they have, and today's result will also help break the gap as Brennan goes off to the left-hand side through for another behind. So they move on to 9-9-63. Cranbourne yet to score. We've gone 16.5 minutes in the third term here on VFL.com.au.
So Wilds to bring it back into play for Cranbourne. Good looking kick, getting to the front spot was Grierson, couldn't take the mark. Hand pass came back to Dalpos from Reynolds. Kicks inside 50. Mark was dropped on the lead there from Hammond. Quick kick away. It'll come back in. Marinoff takes the mark at 53. There are Cranbourne players everywhere in front of her. It's 16 of them in the road. She called to play on. Kicks towards full forward. Vesio couldn't take the mark. Good spoil again by Grierson. Slapped out to the advantage of McDonough. Left it behind. Good tackle laid here by Garner, ensuring that there was no clear passage to goal for Porter. And we'll have a ball up, still inside forward 50 for Darebin. Egan won it down. Vesio left it behind. Marinoff probably tackled Johnson without the ball. Pearce on the left, snaps back towards goal. Brennan on the line, couldn't hang on. And it goes through for a behind to Daisy Pearce. 9-10-64 the Falcons after 18 minutes now of this third quarter. Cranbourne still looking to get themselves underway.
Yeah, Falcons again setting up their zone, putting the pressure on the kick in as Wilds goes out wide. And the mark taken. Marsh on the outer side. Kicks long and high. Plenty of Falcons at the back as Hickey intercepts with the big punch from the back. Ball goes over the line. Ball the call. So they have been hot on it today.
Yep. And for the most part consistent, which is good to see.
Correct.
You like to see consistency.
So the players know what they're getting from the umpires in today's match. Cranbourne kick in short. Johnson got the fingertips to it, couldn't bring it down. Now Delpos weaves her way through traffic. On to Pearce. They go long inside forward 50. Looking for the marking option. Couldn't find her, and Colvin couldn't hold on to it as the ball bounces towards the behind post. And we'll have a boundary throw in the left forward pocket. So the first of 3 games today in Swisse Wellness VFL Women's. As we mentioned, the early game, 11 o'clock start, Cranbourne, Darebin. And then at 2 o'clock, Diamond Creek versus Melbourne Uni. You can hear it live on Girls Play Footy Radio. Find the links on vfl.com.au under our media coverage story.
Hammond won the tap and then tracked after it. But Ali Drennan got there to provide the contest and see a ball up. Last play of this third quarter. Darebin looking for one more goal before the break. Quick kick away, goes towards Dalpos. Picked up by Marinoff, just got a kick away in time. Rapari fed the hand pass out. McLeod, she couldn't get clear either. Strong tackle, pack converges. Umpire says give it to me, and that will do us for the third quarter. So Cranbourne continuing to fight hard, but the class is with the Falcons. They kicked 3 goals 4 in that quarter, Darebin, and at the final change, it is the Falcons 9 goals 10, 64, leading Cranbourne no score here at Casey Fields, Swisse Wellness VFL Women's Round 8. Goal scorers 2 each to Simpson and Hammond, and singles to Pearce, Dalpos, Marinoff, Vesio and Colvin. So the Falcons leading by 64 points at the final change. Cranbourne continuing to work hard, not dropping their heads, but they don't quite have the class to go with this powerhouse VFLW team in Darebin.
We'll take a short break and we'll be back after the break with the final term live here on vfl.com.au.
Final quarter here at Casey Field. Swisse Wellness VFL Women's Round 8. The big question, can Cranbourne get themselves on the scoreboard in this final quarter? They trail the Falcons by 64 points at 9-10. The final quarter is underway. Brendan Rhodes and Anthony Stangetz bringing you the action on vfl.com.au live streaming. And we'll have a secondary ball up at the start of this final term. Darebin, well, it looks that way on the scoreboard, but they haven't had things all their own way today. Cranbourne has worked really hard, especially Wilds and Grierson, who's done a good job on Darcy Vesio, keeping her to a single goal. Daisy Pearce has been pinged holding the ball here. Not happy with the call, but Johnson will get the free kick. The wall already built, and she kicks straight towards that wall. Egan jumps over the top with the fist, brought the ball to ground. Ripped out of the contest by Clarkson. Little kick forward, only goes as far as McNeese, who brought it back out towards the wing. Johnson could have got a free for in the back against Marinoff, who then looked like she threw it away. Rapari fed the hand pass back to Brianne Moody. Caught was Marinoff again, or in fact that was Patterson. Towards half forward it goes for Cranbourne. Backing herself off the line was Rose. Solid contact there with Phillips. Kick was smothered beautifully off the boot by Tatham. And we'll have a boundary throw in front of the Darebin interchange bench.
Yeah, just noticed the rise in physicality from Cranbourne, and nothing untoward, but they've just put their bodies on the line when they've gone for the contest and just shown that they're really chasing the football. And Rapari's been one of those players that just got rid of the football. Now onto Hickey for the Falcons. Gets away from the tackler, kicks up towards half forward. Looking for the marking option. She's found Colvin. What will she do? Brennan's streaming back towards goal. She'll grab this. Will she play on? Yes, she does. And puts her first through of the afternoon. Kicks the 10th?
10th,
yep. 10th on the board for Darebin. They move on to 10-10-70. Cranbourne yet to score, and we've gone 2.5 minutes in the final term of Swisse Wellness VFL Women's action here in Round 8, live from Casey Fields with Anthony Stangetz and Brendan Rhodes.
Yeah, you can't question, as I've said a few times today, Cranbourne's effort and their endeavour. They've really cracked in. They're not letting Darebin very often get an easy run at the football. Mel Hickey finds that out here. She's been tackled 3 times in that contest, managed to finally feed a hand pass out only as far as Bree Moody, who kicks inside forward 50. Trying to pick the footy up was Timmermans, couldn't do so. Working her way through was Kathleen Rowe. Base of the pack was Egan, and we'll have a ball up. 45 metres out from the Cranbourne goal. So Egan to go up against Moody. Egan won it only as far as Wilds, who looks like she's gone up on the ball after a tough effort down in defence. Quick kick away for the Falcons. Good, strong mark taken by Marinoff. Good pair of hands by the Adelaide Crows AFL Rising Star winner. Turning through traffic was Tyndall, then drew the opponent and gave it off to Hammond. Centering ball wasn't good. Gives a chance here. Wilds has been terrific in defence. Got it all the way to the goal line. But Birch was able to get in the road. Push in the back. Free kick to Cranbourne.
You can just hear the Cranbourne supporters in the background riding it every time that it goes towards their goal line, trying to get that first score on the board.
Sophie Phillips will surely do so. About 5 metres out on a tight angle, with the free kick for push in the back. So Phillips, at the 4.5 minute mark of the final quarter, kicks her behind, unfortunately. But Cranbourne are on the scoreboard here in Swisse Wellness VFL Women's Round 8 action. 1 behind. Darebin 10-10-70. 4.5 gone in the final quarter.
And it was that quick play that they've just kicked long into their forward line. And a change of game plan during this final term, and just doesn't give the Falcons an opportunity to get their numbers back, because they're pretty good at setting up that wall, and that wall's been strong all afternoon and this morning during the match. So let's see what they can do now. 5 minutes gone, final term. They trail by 69 points, and they'd be keen to get another score on the board in this final quarter and ensure that the Falcons don't get a bigger result. Here's another opportunity for them. They'll go back inside forward 50. Up towards their half-forward mark, but Hammond cutting it off. Gets around the tackler. Bombs it long along the outer side. Delpos, good body work up against Wallace. Gets it back to Vesio. Will she go back to the 1-2 with Delpos? She does. She's going backwards. They've given up about 25 metres.
And that was good play by Cranbourne to, once again, forcing them back.
So Byrne now with the ball. She kicks in short, and they regain their 25 metres and find Brennan. Back after a month on the sidelines.
Hasn't had a good run with injury this year, has she?
No. As she goes inside forward 50. Didn't have a good run in AFLW either, as Vesio marks, coming off 7 goals last week. Just the 1 goal in the third term in this clash so far. And can she eat into Chloe Malloy's goal-kicking lead at the halfway mark of the season on our Choose Tap leading goal kickers? Chloe Malloy leading with 20. Darcy Vesio quickly moving her way up the ladder with 17 so far this season. Ball falls in the goal square. Who can get it out? Pearce. Handball's out, looking for Colvin. They go backwards. Brennan. Good defensive work by Johnson. Now Marinoff on the left boot. They got the numbers in the goal square, but the ball hits the post anyway. And another blemish on the Darebin scorecard. They move on to 10-11-71. Cranbourne 1 behind. 7 minutes gone, final term.
It was beautifully done by Colvin. Had 2 goes at it after missing the first target. It was a great pick-up to release Marinoff for that shot on goal. Out towards the wing, straight off the bench. Marsh couldn't pick it up cleanly. Oh, McNeese has been slammed into the ground in the tackle.
Great second effort by McLeod.
Yep, she's made her earn it. McNeese gets the free kick. Or gives away the free kick, actually, for holding the ball. Must have been the decision, but anyway, the kick has been turned over. Hickey gave it to Pearce. Towards half forward it goes. Marinoff round the corner, back towards the top of the goal square. Who will this favour at the back? Oh, Hammond spent it before she had it. Who didn't? Porter didn't, and Porter kicks a goal. Isabel Porter gets her first goal of the day and of the year in her 5th game. And Darebin goes to 11-11-77. Cranbourne 1 behind. 8 minutes gone, final quarter. Swisse Wellness VFL Women's Round 8 at Casey Fields on vfl.com.au.
Yeah, great work. They just kept on pushing the ball forward. They had the 3-on-1 contest, and it's just that pressure telling on the Cranbourne's defence when the ball's coming in that many times during the game. Ball back in the middle. Clarkson trying to get it down. Almost tunnel ball there from Wilds. Can't get the ball out of the middle, and we will have another ball up. Looking at the road ahead for both these clubs, and interesting few weeks for Darebin, taking on VU Western Spurs, Geelong, Diamond Creek and St Kilda over their next month of action for Cranbourne. They follow up with Geelong, Box Hill.
Steals it out of the pack, has a snap on goal and bounces it home. Good play out the back from Darcy Vesio. She's kicked the goal from 45 and is pretty happy about that. She's got 2 in the second half after a tough day opposed to Jasmine Grierson. And Darebin goes to 12-11-83. Cranbourne 1 behind on the Swisse Wellness VFL Women's scoreboard here at Casey Fields after 9.5 minutes.
Cuts that goal-kicking lead now to 2. Chloe Malloy to play this afternoon up against Melbourne Uni. And that'll be a great contest between those 2 teams. The winner to sit on top of the ladder at the end of round 8 of Swisse Wellness VFL Women's. Birch tries to get the ball out. Handball came out from Lawson Tavern. Now back to McDonald. She's been good on half-back today. Marinoff out towards this broadcast side wing. Well done leading in the race by Drennan. Gets it under McLeod. Up towards right half forward. A punch away by Reynolds. Rapari pushing the ball forward. Can they get their first major on the board, the Eagles? They're going to try and keep it inside forward 50. Back out to Rapari. Centering kick. They've got the numbers. They just need to talk and just need to help out their opponents. Cutting. Got a kick away. Burn. And this is where the Falcons have dominated today. Just their numbers at half back and their ability to push the ball forward. Good work by Grierson. Couldn't lay a tackle on Lister. In towards the middle again. Now, once again, numbers. Drennan. Cutting. Went without it. Falcons building an attack. Burn. Dispossessed. And a free kick. Cranbourne will be rewarded on this occasion. And taking the free kick will be Garner.
Garner, they've paid them all day, which is good to see. It looked like a very good mark, and it's been paid for Cranbourne by Grierson, who's had an excellent day, and now she gets a 50-metre penalty, and that's against Ebony Marinoff, who was coming to the bench and just went straight through the mark as she came off the ground. So a player like Marinoff probably should be a little bit smarter than that, I would have thought. Daisy Pearce was smarter. She was waiting to come on the ground, and she was certainly waiting until after the ball had gone before she did that.
Yeah, I'd like to finish the game with a clean sheet, if you could, but here's a chance for Cranbourne to get their first of the afternoon.
If anyone deserves it, it's Jasmine Grierson, who's been outstanding down the other end on Vesio today. It's a beautiful kick. Has it got the legs? It certainly has. Jasmine Grierson kicks a goal for Cranbourne, and look at them all get across to her. She's got her first goal for the season, obviously spending most of her year down back in her 5th game, and Cranbourne, heartwarming stuff for them, get themselves a goal. They're 1-1-7, trailing Darebin Falcons 10-11-71. Well, they'd be, 12-11-83. I've fallen a little bit behind there with the ads on the big screen here throwing me off. The margin back to 76 points, 12.5 minutes final quarter on VFL.com.au.
Yeah, great reward for Cranbourne. They've tried tirelessly inside their forward 50. That defensive half of Darebin has been like a rock all afternoon. But they finally got through, got that 50-metre penalty and get the first on the board as Hickey sets him up towards half forward. Porter, handball out to Delpos. Goes long inside forward 50, looking for Vesio. Tries to take it with the one hand. What can she produce from the pocket? What? She goes long towards goal. Bouncing football hits the post. Almost pulls off the miracle goal as they kick their 12th behind, just evening up the ledger again. 12-12-84 to Cranbourne 1-1-7. 13 minutes gone in this final quarter.
It took the right bounce for her. She just kicked it a metre too far. Or the off break into the post as Egan marks the kick in on forward 50, chips inside, puts a big task on Pearce, and she gets a free kick for a chop of the arms, and then just strolls away into 20, kicks another goal. And that was just smart from Daisy Pearce. She took the time to walk back and make sure she stood behind the mark. And then while the player on the mark was having a snooze, just stepped around her and strolled into the open goal.
Knew what she was doing the whole way through that.
2 goals to Daisy Pearce, and it's 13-12-90 Darebin. Cranbourne 1-1-7, 14 minutes gone, final quarter. Swisse Wellness, VFL Women's Round 8 on VFL.com.au.
I was just wondering, the centre clearances, the one on the wing for Darebin just came in, but they were one short at the centre ball up.
Still should have been paid under the rules.
As Vesio got it back to Pearce. Looks for Vesio again. Ball 35 metres out from the Darebin goal. Brennan, who's just come back onto the field again. Made her way down forward straight away. They go goalward. Good work by the Cranbourne defence. Now they just need to clear, not give the Falcons another opportunity. And there's still a chance for the Falcons. Moody taking the ground. We'll have a ball up just at the top of the goal square. 90 plays 7. 15 minutes gone, so 5 minutes left in this game. Another 10-goal plus win for Darebin as Brennan goes goalward. I think it's been touched. It has been. So, again, 13-13, 91 to Cranbourne, 1-1-7. And I don't think their goal kicking's finished for the afternoon just yet. Their last 2 victories, 66 points against Box Hill, 61 points against the Eastern Devils. And, well, we're yet to see what it could be today. Just yet as Hammond takes the mark, Brendan.
Yeah, the kick in goes straight up the middle. The second time in a row they've gone up the middle and hit a Darebin player lace out. So that might be something to work on during the week. As Hammond lines up from 45 metres out directly in front. Hasn't got the legs on this one. And it'll clear the pack and bounce away for a behind. 2 goals, 1 for Hammond today. 13-14-92, plays 1-1-7. 3 3/4 minutes remaining in this match. Swisse Wellness at VFL Women's action. Jasmine Grissom, the goal scorer for Cranbourne, will bring it back into play, taking over the duties after handing them up the last couple of times. She decides to go wide. McLeod flies, couldn't take the mark. Marinov at the back, kicks inside the pocket again. Brennan steps around one and then tried to kick it a little bit too hard and missed to the near side. 1 goal 4 for Katie Brennan today. So she hasn't had the kicking boots on. 13-15 Darebin to 1-1 Cranbourne. The margin 86 points.
Yeah, good to see her and Jazz Grierson still having a laugh out there on the park despite the result so far in the game. As they Marinoff centering kick. Simpson takes the mark. And we'll go back directly in front. She's one of 4 multiple goal kickers so far in today's game. And can she put herself as the leading goal scorer with 3 for the game? Directly in front. She kicked 1 in the first, 1 in the second. And no, she doesn't have 1 in the fourth. So 3 behinds in a row going the way of Darebin. 13-16-94. They lead Cranbourne 1-1-7. Just ticking over to 18 minutes gone in the final quarter. Swisse Wellness VFL Women's action here on VFL.com.au.
She really tried to drive at that ball and hooked it pretty badly as the Eagles try to bring it out of defence. Marie Drennan wearing those odd boots. Caught holding the ball, running away. Egan has a shot on goal. Vesio to fly from behind. Had to go with the punch. Grierson gets it back there on the line to Rebecca Pearce. She gave it back to Tatham, who's been pinged for deliberate rush behind. Well, what's your thoughts on that one, Anthony?
And the free kick's going
to Vesio, who sent it to Hammond, who will have a shot from 25 out directly in front.
I thought she was under enough pressure.
I thought there was a lot of pressure going on there. There was 3 handballs between the 3 defenders right on the line, so it was obvious that they were trying to keep the ball in play as long as possible. It doesn't hurt them because the kicking for goal from Darebin today has been pretty ordinary. Hammond now has 2 goals, 2. 13-17-95, plays 1-1-7 as we tick into the final minute of this game.
Oh, the Falcons had it balanced beautifully. They were keeping their goals and behinds in line until the final few minutes of this game. They're 4th behind in a row. There's still a chance to get a final goal on the board. They're inside the last 60 seconds. Free kicks are going their way in the final minutes of this game for the Falcons. Not an opportunity to play on this time for Pearce. She's going to find the short chip kick and finds Brennan. And Brennan an opportunity to kick her 2nd goal of this final quarter and bring up the 14th just before the final siren in this game.
Yeah, this will be the last kick of the day, you would think, once she takes her full 30 seconds over this one.
So what will the margin be in this game? Looking at possibly 89. Or possibly, as she stuck it through, she has the 14th goal on the board, just as the siren sounds. And 14-17, 101 to Cranbourne, 1-1-7. Their scoreline being brought up in the final quarter of this game. So a great result for Darebin. They burst out of the blocks with the first five goals at quarter time. They kicked just one in the second. They kicked 3 in the third quarter and finished the game with 4 goals in the final term to bring up the big win for the Falcons. And they sit in wait to see what position that they might have in the top 4 at the end of this round with all the other matches going on.
Yeah, another big percentage boost for the Falcons. And if I'm not mistaken, that goal from Katie Brennan on the siren brings up the first century score for any team in VFLW this season.
Yes, well, it's certainly the biggest score this year for Darebin. Their biggest score prior was 13-5-83, and that was in the last round. So the Falcons are building as we run through their goal scorers, and plenty of multiples for the Falcons. Darcy Vesio kicking 2, Daisy Pearce 2, Brennan 2, Georgia Hammond a couple as well, and singles each to Colvin, Porter, Marinoff, Delpos. And for Cranbourne, their sole goal scorer for the day, Jasmine Grierson, kicking 1 goal in the final term. So great result for Darebin, sitting in 4th spot going into the round 8 action.
Goal umpires would love this. They're trying to tick off the scoreboard and they've wiped it.
Wow.
The timekeepers have wiped the scoreboard.
Getting ready for the TAC Cup game already. So nothing to sign off on.
Final score with that last goal from Brennan wasn't put on the scoreboard, so they would have been running across here anyway, the goal umpires. But 14-17, 101 for the Darebin Falcons over the Cranbourne Eagles, 117, a 94-point margin. The second biggest one that Darebin has had against Cranbourne in their 3 contests, but at least the Eagles were able to avoid a second goalless game against Darebin in a row after they kicked 4 behinds here or over at Frankenholmes in their last meeting last year in round 11. But yeah, Western Spurs, who kicked 14-12-96 against Cranbourne last week, was the previous highest score for the season in VFLW as far as my memory serves me. So they finished with that highest score. And a good win for Darebin. They were obviously a class above. They were far too good for Cranbourne, but certainly the Eagles girls can hold their heads high because they stuck at their task all day. It looked at quarter time like they could have been facing 20 or even a 25 goal beating, but they lifted their intensity both at the ball and the opponent, and they just never went away. They kept working at it, they kept at their task, and they got rewarded with, interestingly enough, their only goal kicked by the full-back, who did a terrific job on Darcy Vesio, keeping her to 2 goals 3 for the day.
Well, that's the end of our broadcast today. Brendan, thank you. Anthony Stangett's also with you today. We'll be back next week broadcasting live from Box Hill, whereas Box Hill and Seaford go head-to-head in round 9 of Swisse Wellness VFL action. In today's result, it was Darebin 14-17, 101 defeating Cranbourne 117. A full replay of this game will be available after this match on vfl.com.au. We'll see you next week.